make of it overall?
Listen, I think notoriously difficult place to come. We got to deal with how someone play. You know, they engaged with the strikers really quickly. I thought the two strikers were a handful in the first half, and we didn't quite deal with that. The goal we lose is such a poor goal because it's two set play goals. We know that their goalkeeper will come up and take. I didn't think it was a foul in the first place, by the way, but that's by the by. It's about 10 yards inside their half, and we just go too deep. I mean, that's what they do. They bring their goalkeeper all the way up to the halfway line, they sail it into the box. But I actually thought we defended it too deep. We didn't need to go as deep. And if they do play it in there and they get it into the big boy's chest, then ideally he's still outside the box. I mean, it's a lovely bit of skill for him to score the goal, but he should be trying that for 22 yards rather than 12 yards. And we have got to accept our part in that. I thought the response was good. I thought we created good chances. Benny's probably got to score there. Probably a bit of nosebleed how far out the pitch he was, but he's got to score. It just looked, and I thought we were good. And I think if you take away the two goals, which obviously you can't just dismiss, two set play goals, but the bits in between was good. You know, I was pleased with the performance in the main. We could have been slicker off the right hand side. I don't think we was quite as tidy and as efficient as we should have been. I thought Kazaridis was a threat throughout. I thought he was magnificent. Braga and Shanklin dovetailed off each other, both get goals. I thought we hit the woodwork 2 or 3 times with a goal chopped off. I liked how we were at the end. I loved watching my team that nobody was accepting just a point, and we kept trying to win. And I loved that the fans all stayed because we've had so many late winners and they believe in the team. There's a trust there that there's just another chance for us. And it nearly came with Big Kabore, and what a good moment that would have been. But you dust yourself down. We've not defended our box well enough on 2 instances, a free kick and a corner. And to score 3 goals away from home, we can't keep doing that. Did it once at Dundee United, and tonight we just fell short, but not from the wanted trying. I thought my subs were really good and really impactful when they come on, McInnes and Kabore. And we dust ourselves down. It's a point at a notoriously difficult place. We're going into November now, unbeaten, top of the league. And if somebody had told me that at the start of the season, we'd be 6 points clear of Celtic after 10 games, you'd have grabbed that. So I think it's important for a bit of perspective. Players are a bit disappointed, which is not a bad thing for them to be disappointed. But in the cold light of day, we'll dust ourselves down, and it'll seem a decent point, a more than decent point, if we can win our game on Saturday.
When you called Kabore back to come on, did you know that goal was going to be chopped off?
No.
Did you think it was still 3-1 at that time?
Oh, their goal?
Yeah.
No, sorry. So Paul and Alan have obviously got the monitor, and they were debating. They thought that the goal had I think the player's reaction tells you you're always a bit hopeful from that, but I believe the explanation was that maybe Harry was offside, and then he tried to be blocked as well. So maybe a combination of both. But obviously you're never really knowing at that time. I can't make it for the monitor really, and you're just in the land of the gods there with that one. I hope they arrive at the right decision. Thankfully we managed to get on the right side of it, and then we have the one with Kabore at the end where Ocean, I think, strayed offside. It did a brilliant moment for Kabore because I thought he was really good when he came on. He really set about it. The boy's been busting. I think it's been a real improvement in him and how he's trained and everything else, and I think he gets it, and I thought he was terrific when he came on. So all these wee things, Magnuson, him, the way the team were at the end, trying to push for a win. I actually loved watching my team there. I really did, how they were. Nobody gave it up. We kept going right to the end, and we tried to apply pressure, and some of them were good enough to see it out and get the point.
Is that important to you that your subs did it come on, guys like Kabore are just eager to get involved and play their part?
Do you know, I've got a squad full of that at the minute. Boys itching, and obviously it's same team 6 games in a row, which is unheard of in football, unheard of for me especially. And I think it's like every time the team wins, the boys that are not starting maybe feel a wee bit further away from it because there's every chance it's going to be the same team. But you would never know how they've trained, and I think Kabore and Magnuson and everybody else was itching to get on. It's like everybody's waiting for that call. I wanted to try and keep 2 strikers on the pitch the whole time, and obviously we ended up with 3 at one point. And it's good that both my strikers score. My other striker, Kabore, gets one chopped off. We looked a threat tonight. we were guilty of passing up a few good chances, and we had a couple of really good moments that we should have made a bit more of. But in the cold light of day, we've no won the game, and everybody expects us to win the game of the day. But we know you have to be almost pitch perfect when you come here. You need to deal with so much that comes your way when you play St Mirren. They ask the question of you, the game hits you right between the eyes, you've got to be ready for it. And if you don't deal with that as well as you need to, then the likelihood is you can suffer. And we suffered, but we reacted, and we reacted well.
How much did you consider changing it for tonight, or was it always going to be a case of?
Yeah, so we looked at the game in isolation really. You know, as you do with all the games. In the last few weeks we've come up against Hibs, the exact same shape, and play quite similar. They don't really build the game, they try to engage with the strikers. Kilmarnock the same, and we felt we could make little tweaks in terms of positioning and try to get that flow. And so we, you know, I thought the team was the right team to pick. We looked at what we did a lot against Kilmarnock, because it was very similar to it. And we had some really good moments similar to the Kilmarnock game, but what we didn't do tonight was keep a clean sheet, and we gave someone a bit too much encouragement, because we didn't quite deal with the physicality, and we didn't deal with a couple of instances when they scored goals from. So such is life, we move on for it. But the team was good. The team was good enough to win the game tonight, and we, as I say, in between the two goals we lose, I thought the actual performance was good. And sometimes you can't all see it, people can't see that, but it actually was good.
Consider changes for Saturday?
Yeah, obviously I need to sit down with the staff, and we'll go through that, but you know, I think this is that third game in 6 days effectively. You know, it's like when we've got good options from the bench, I think it's important that we consider everything, yeah. Against another team who don't play with two strikers, they play with one striker, but they play deep back five, and they've got that counter-attacking threat, two ball carriers either side of Murray. They've got their feet up and out where not more pan in, so we need to obviously look at everything going into the game. But two home games now coming up against both Dundee teams, looking forward to those, and obviously to try and finish this first quarter of games off top of the league, which was what we set out to do a few weeks ago. Can we get to the first round of games top of the league? So we're going to be that. Hopefully we can do it with another win.